Fraser Aird for the Cavalry. He showed up today in short sleeves and shorts. Heck, that's what he was wearing on his pre-match walk this morning. He sends it long, and Cavalry right away in to defend. It is Atlético Ottawa wearing their primary shirts this evening. Red and white stripes. They will be attacking the goal at the left side of your screen in this first half. And listen to this place roar. Aird back in time, goes sliding towards the end line. Picked up and feinted. Tabla back. It's blocked by Dan Club. Adam Jenkins and John Conway with you. My goodness, I hope you were not late, because we are underway with an absolute vengeance. Tobias Warszewski overhead of all, and Tigney out to chase, but it skitters all the way to the captain, Nathan Ingham. John, 45 seconds in the books. What's going through your mind as you see the first moments of this final unfold?
Both teams have embraced the elements today. As you see on the left-hand side, Gabriel Antonoro getting forward quickly with pace. Direct balls over the top are going to cause problems today.
Carducci out of his goal. Rodriguez! Just high! Everyone in green preaches calm. Carducci thanks his lucky stars.
Well, this is what you have to do today, Adam. Limit the mistakes. Carducci makes a huge mistake there in his clearance, and Rodriguez, golden opportunity to get this game kicked off 1-0. Just can't keep it low enough.
Well, looks like David Rodriguez adjusting just fine to the snow. It's so funny, John, isn't it, when you talk to the players and the staff and the coaches, what are you expecting from the match? Well, we kind of had a feeling this was going to come, but the answers are split. It's either 0-0 because everyone's afraid to make a mistake. It's going to take extra time, maybe penalties. But if you look at how this game has started and just how unpredictable the pitch is, the new ball is, the conditions that currently and will continue to exist, I get the sense we're going to have some goals tonight.
We're going to have some goals. Some errors are going to occur during this game. And when those errors occur, it's about the team who can take advantage of those mistakes. We all saw one already with Marco Carducci, not able to clear his lines. David Rodriguez almost capitalizes.
So fundamentally, the most important thing, other than there is no more important thing than player safety. Let's all assume that that is the #1 standard bearer. After that, for the referees, it's being able to see the lines. Has the ball crossed? And of course, is the ball playable? Is the pitch playable? And with lengthy conversations, they said we can play in the snow. If you kick the ball and it stops, John, that's when the conversation changes.
And right now, the ball is hitting the turf and it's sliding. You've seen some passes already that have taken off. Ottawa, a possession-based team, they like to start the ball with this player in the back of Abatne and let the attack or the defense come and step out, and they start their attack from there. Could be risky today with the way the field conditions are.
Tom Field clears it away, and Ingham can let that roll for a goal kick. You mentioned Noah Abatne, and it's worthy of speaking about Noah and so many of his young Canadian peers. That has been the big story coming out of the nation's capital. Over 8,000 under-21 Canadian minutes. You need 2,000 as part of the league regulations to qualify for the postseason. Ottawa smashed that, and they did so by trusting in the kids. It's one thing to say trust the kids, John, but from J.D. Ulanowski, the general manager here, and everyone top to bottom with the Atlético organization, they've done that and they've been rewarded for it.
That's what this league is about, giving these young players an opportunity to play at a professional level week in, week out. Atlético Ottawa has completely embraced that concept.
Warszewski tries to find a way through. Door shut down by Manu Aparicio. David Rodriguez pursuing Tom Field. You will see plenty of no-nonsense defending. And Tom Field has been on an incredible run of form the past few weeks.
Taking no chances there. Gerasimenkov not messing around, just getting that out of touch. Not looking even back towards Carducci to play it back to him.
Here's Antonoro. Gonna go over the head side of Eric Kobza. This is Koke Castro. Ertz lets that clear the line. Well, as you can see, that path that has been made for the assistant referees, the perimeter of the field, it's starting to fill up quick. The league is working with a meteorologist to try to keep an eye on the storm, and the most recent update we got is the snow is not going to slow anytime soon. We're expecting a brief pause in the 15th minute to just clear those lines again. Shom for Kenija Elva, the St. Lucian international. Tobias Warshevsky now, his cross in, met by Ingham. Gote and Tigney of Coaldale, Alberta, just off the back post, looking for anything to slip through.
Going to see a lot of that combination play today between Warshevsky and Elva. Elva just starting the last 3 games, and it's been a good combination with these 2 players. You see here is Warshevsky's able to get wide and get a ball across, just out of the reach of Musi. You'll see Tobias Warshevsky roaming around underneath Kenija Elva, looking to get on the ball. And those 2 players will link up. Elva is going to be really critical with the conditions because he's so good in the air. Wins over 70% of his aerial duels. So if you play direct, you got to be living off the droppings around him, and Warshevsky does a good job of doing that.
Aparicio looking for Rodriguez. It's stolen by Mikhail Gerasimenkov. Taken by Koke. Loic Cloutier. Spoke to playing in the snow growing up in Quebec City. Nate Ingham used a very specific ice hockey analogy that he thinks fits. He said, you know, when you shovel off the snow before you freeze the rink to play some pond hockey, he goes, well, you can play some indoor footy in that space too. He goes, I love playing football in the snow in Keswick, Ontario. Intigney. Just enough speed to reach Ali Musi. Fought off by Cloutier. Air clips it. Intigney now from the right wing leans into Cloutier. Stepping up, Eric Kobza. Now Rodriguez. First foul of the match as Tabla is taken down by Eric Kobza.
Pretty impressive. We're 8 minutes into the match, and that's the first foul. There's always somebody who likes to get their slide tackles in early, but Kobza on that hand, just a bit handsy.
Aparicio slipping through. Shavicho. Kevin Dos Santos. Sam Salter surrounded by a quartet of green shirts. Batney. Dos Santos, excellent reception. Tabla out to a wide open David Rodriguez. Rodriguez moves to the inside left. He's elusive, but is finally met by Ali Musi. Kenija Elva, Intigney. Chopped by Intigney for Warshevsky. It's just too much for Koke. Spotting Fraser Air, the orange ball goes wide. Back in for Warshevsky, turning, but closed down. Now Musi Mets just outside the box. Cavalry want to follow, they're not going to get it. And look out the other way. Sam Salter sends it wide. Still Wielden Jr. up in arms about what he thought was a sure foul of the Somali international just outside the box.
Well, it all starts with defensive play here by Manny Aparicio, just getting his body in the way, and then he picks his head up and finds Sam Salter. Salter's last touch takes him away from Carducci's goal and makes it more difficult, especially in these conditions. And he shoves it wide. Needs to continue to go direct. He takes that touch and bits outside and makes it so much harder for him. I love a goal kick in this weather, Adam. I had the opportunity to play in a game like this when I was in college. And every goal kick, I was down, spinning the ball around like I was playing beach soccer and teeing the thing up.
We could not be further away from a beach tonight. Musi. the Atlético Ottawa winger for Garrison Mankoff, who came into this 2025 season as a Moldovan youth international and worked his way up to a call-up to the senior team. So many of these Caps players for international duty this season take them far and away from Calgary. Musi to Somalia, Garrison Mankoff, Moldova, St. Lucia for Kanija Elva, and it's one of those catch-22s as a GM, as a coach. You want your players to experience international football, but when you lose them so often in season, it's a tough adjustment. My goodness, Atlético Ottawa are missing one of their star young players, Sergei Kozlovsky, tonight, who's away at the Youth World Cup. Shom out positions Rodriguez. Elva sends that into the penalty area. Ingham over his head. He tells Antonio to go for a run. He's cleared. Fraser Airds. Antonio with three teammates to his right. Down goes the defender. Tabla off Klopp. Top of the box. No way, says Mikael Venn. Cavalry's turn, bursting down the wing. It's Musi. Stops on a dime, tries to turn. Cloche's patience pays off. It will be an Ingham goal kick.
I'll tell you what, I'm impressed just in terms of the back and forth of this game as we see the foul, or possible foul, not called. Good job from Klopp trying to get in on Tabla there and force him off the ball. Catches him a little too much, could have called a foul.
You can see Mikael Venn, the referee, pointing right at the football. Our angles suggest perhaps that wasn't indeed the case. I have a feeling, John, the referees are going to need to feel extra sure of what they've seen to award a penalty. There's going to be lots of players going down, even without fouls, just in this snowy set of conditions we have.
Absolutely, and we're also going to need the help of the fourth official and the assistant referees on the sideline, determining where the fouls have occurred, especially around the box.
All right, looks like the referee has asked for a pause to bring out the snow removal team. And he's constantly evaluating Mikael Venn, the state of the pitch, and ultimately he decided we need to get the jetpack snow pushers and the shovels out to keep this field safe and playable. Christian Jack between the benches for us pitch side tonight. Let's go down to him for an update. KJ.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Just a different kind of body language here. David Rodriguez right in front of me just saying, why can we just keep playing? And then Cavalry immediately were aware of it. They've come over, already started talking about a couple of adjustments in front of me here. Is that just take a little bit of a moment just to flow. You mentioned it earlier. It's just the lines. Essentially, referee Venn just asking for a little bit more clarity on those lines. But it's not really a day or a night for tactics, but just a couple of things that both coaches are already working on. Wide areas. We saw Dos Santos getting inside there, and what Cavalry are just asking is their wide players just to make sure that they don't get too wide in this area. And again, it comes down to the lines. Where exactly are they watching that, and what's their reference points? Because Rodriguez and Dos Santos, as well as other players like Antonio, are already getting quite a lot of lively down those wings. But the conditions aren't that bad down here. It's not sticking as often as you maybe think. It's not much different to what started when it started like 15 minutes ago. But we are informed by the referee that they're going to try and do this every 15 minutes. Referee Venn decided after 12 and a half that he needed to do it, in particular to see the sidelines. He just wants to make sure that he can see them. But it's a lot of confusion. Cavalry players even asking how long do we have to wait around, and so everyone's learning a little bit of new things here down here today. But just a wonderful day so far. So enjoying Canadian footy, Adam.
Certainly one for Canadian football that we won't soon forget. KJ and I both had the pleasure to be at the match infamously known as the Azteca, the World Cup qualification in Edmonton at Commonwealth Stadium a few years ago. And it's the same in that it's the winter, and yet it's oh so different. For starters, it's not nearly as cold. Secondly, the snow's continuing to fall. It's truly one of those things you're going to look back on and say, where were you when? And for the supporters out braving the colds, be one for the memory banks as well. John Conway, you've played, you've coached, so many things you can think about from the snow. And we asked the coaches how to prepare. They were all very coy. Tommy Wheeldon Jr., he's a Calgarian now, so he's used to this. Mejia, I'm sure, learning a few things from his staff that are more so used to this. But in terms of adjustments, what you're asking from your keepers, how do you try to manage a match that can be as so unpredictable and, as we're learning, stop-start as this final will be?
Well, first, let's start with the goalkeepers. You just need to be secure. So you need to make your decisions right away. The ball's coming at you, whether it's a shot. You need to decide whether you're going to hold it and secure it or get it away from you. If you're going to get it away from you, get it to a good area, get it into out of danger so you can recover and get in position or your teammates can get there and help you. Secondly, need to be helpful with the group in front of you and not cause any more problems. So your communication from the back as a goalkeeper needs to be spot on as well, especially in these conditions. Thirdly, your positioning. You can see Nate Ingham out on the field now, shoveling the field, helping to get this thing cleared out. But for a goalkeeper, you need to know where you are inside your 18. So consistently going down and marking your area to know where you're at, because you don't want to lose yourself as you're tracking back to get in position and the attack's coming. So have those visual cues on the ground and using the snow and scuffing it up as much as you can, constantly moving around, giving yourself sight lines so you know where you're at in your positioning. As for the rest of the group, get the ball forward. That would be my messaging. Get it forward, press the other team, win the ball back in the attacking half, or attacking third, and get the goal. And last but not least, any shots on target, follow up. Get the loose droppings. Anything that's in there, get to it, apply pressure to the goalkeeper to make sure that he does the right job of either securing it or parrying it away and out of danger.
All right, KJ doesn't have a shovel in his hand, but he does have another update for us. Christian.
Yeah, I do, Adam. The key here now is the new story is that Cavalry substitutes have not been on the bench since the beginning of the game. They believe that that is the right thing that they're allowed to do, referring to the Club World Cup, if you remember, the complete contrast to the weather during the heat, that they were saying that they in the Club World Cup were allowed to stay in the dressing room because of the conditions. Atlético Ottawa have noticed it, they've flagged it with the officials, and the officials have informed the Cavalry bench that they need to get the substitutes back out here immediately. Adam?
Oh, nice spot down there, Christian, yes. And I think the Atlético Ottawa players that are sat there are saying, okay, your turn, come join us, John.
I would love to be sitting in the locker room watching this. Not out there freezing on the bench. I can actually get warmed up in there if I needed to, if the sub's needed. Kind of smart, actually a very smart play from Tommy Wheeldon Jr. there with his substitutes.
Something else to note as well, our broadcast clock does not stop for the snow removal phase, so obviously the referee's time is official, but we'll expect lots of stoppage time today. Rodriguez shot out of a cannon, he's in the box, it's off the backside of Kabza, and out for the corner. We'll have our first set play of the evening. Unbridled chaos, perhaps we welcome you shortly.
Santos is available for a short option. However, I'm putting this into the mix. Get it into the box. Get bodies around Marco Carducci.
They do elect to go short for Dos Santos. From a better angle now, Rodriguez. Diving Dan Klopp. Rodriguez trying to get goal side of Elva. Wins his individual duel, and Shamid Shom sends it most of the way out of his half. Manu Aparicio, who has not played a match of football since he and his wife Laura gave birth. So he's got that new dad energy and that new dad desire to try to push him through tonight. Shevsky finds a way through. He's silky smooth despite being one of the tallest and strongest players on the pitch. Fleet of foot, the German forward. This is a Batman. Sam Salter. Guided back by Klopp. Tommy Wheeldon Jr. and Diego Mejia are having a screaming match. I believe about the substitutes still. The two coaches finger wagging and words that I certainly am not allowed to repeat on the broadcast. It's getting testy and warm down there despite it being -8 degrees Celsius. Batney out to his right for Ronnie and Bomio. Intigney. Batney. Very well done from the center back, and Koke helps him out, going to ground, completing the pass. Rodriguez breaks the ankles of Gote and Tigney. Now Aparicio, pardon me, trying to go wide to Antonora. Mercy steals, blows the tire, pops back up, and a whistle from the referee. Here come the Cavalry FC substitutes from out the dressing room, down the tunnel, and to their spot on the bench.
Well, we've seen a few times already, Adam, where you're looking to step out to defend. If you don't get your feet set right, it's an easy touch for the attacker to get around. The amount of pace that they're coming at, and they just can't slow down on this surface. Saw Batney dribble through two people there.
And Bomio nearly plays that off his arm. Warshevsky with the first shot on target of the match. Scuffed it as he swung his left foot down. He couldn't find the sweet spot of the football.
Good opportunity here for Warshevsky. Just catches more snow than anything else. Simple save from Nate Ingham. This is how Atlético Ottawa like to play. They like to start the ball with a Batney, and then see how the press comes. In this case, they decide to go direct.
Outside of the foot, feathering the pass in towards Salter, running right through Carducci. A close call.
Good concentration there from Marco Carducci with the ball coming in and bouncing right in front of him on the snow. You got to be locked in, get your body behind the ball. In case your hands fail you, you've got your body there to back you up.
Airds. Right down the middle, Fraser Aird. Born and raised Scarborough, Ontario. Fullback with experience playing across European football and is always up for a challenge. It's probably his biggest challenge yet in Cavalry colors. We were reminded that Cavalry opened their season in snowy Langford, BC in Champions Cup. It was nowhere near this. Now Manu Aparicio, hard tackle on Warshevsky. Referee allows advantage to develop and then blows his whistle as soon as it was lost.
Well, this is what you get from a player like Tobias Warshevsky. Floats around, can hold the ball up, and in this case takes a great little touch to get inside. Manu Aparicio is just a bit late coming over to help out. Tobias Warshevsky finds the snow. Gives Cavalry an opportunity now off a free kick. Set pieces are critical. It's all going to come down to the quality of the service in these conditions.
So obviously, John, the high-vis orange helps, but I imagine for Ingham right now, trying to build his wall, staring into the snow blowing into his eyes, this is a nerve-wracking few moments. You're just hoping to do anything to track it. It's Moosey, rated goal. He got it up and it knuckles. Hits the turf and moves safely wide.
Moosey would definitely like to have that one back. Missed opportunity here. All you have to do for me is get this up over the wall and on target. Nate Ingham make a decision about what he's going to do with the ball, whether he's going to hold on to it or get it away from him. And if I'm Cavalry, as soon as that ball came off Moosey's foot, if I'm in the line across the 18, I'm just rushing towards Ingham to put pressure on anything that comes off.
It's good work from Dos Santos. Heavy, crunching tackle from Eric Kobza. That's one where Aparicio will just nod along. Aparicio, he made 57 fouls this season to lead the CPL. Kobza, the team leader for the Cavs, on 42. Two central midfielders that love to go into a tackle. With a foot up, Kobza. Fields for Alva. Somehow is able to chest that down. Rodriguez. 1v1 with Klump, who gets goal side. They are wrestling in the snow, and so far nothing untoward spotted by the referee. Now Ottawa storm the official as he says that's a foul against Atleti.
You can understand why Rodriguez is upset. He felt like he was fouled earlier by Klump. Initially, great turn. able to drive forward. He felt like he got held off there. And again, on the ground battling, Klopp's able to recover. And he does get a lot of the ball, and then Rodriguez comes in the back. Great battle from both players there.
Ultimately, that shove on Kabza warrants the whistle from Michael Venn. The 28-year-old native of Joliet, Quebec, his first CPL final appointment. Veteran of 10 matches this season in the league. Now Rodriguez. Now Mejia's up in arms. Gerasimenkov didn't think that warranted the whistle.
Well, Rodriguez has been complaining for a foul. He finally gets one, rightfully so.
The 2025 Canadian Premier League final. Live from Ottawa, Ontario, it's Adam Jenkins and John Conway in the booth with you this evening. Mackenzie Barwell, Christian Jack, pitch side for us tonight on One Soccer, TSN, and Fox Sports 2. Aparicio wins a foul. Ottawa use their advantage. What a turn! Tabla in front of Antonoro and sends him scrambling. Kabza meets and clears. Batney. Again, you're going to see so much of that, John. If you don't know exactly where your teammate's at, there will be no chances taken. The stakes are far too high.
Especially in the back, zero mistakes. Get it out of bounds, get it up the field. Get able to reset. Don't give your opponent an opportunity to counterattack on you with a bad touch.
Well, we've already seen a few clear breaks down the wings. I'm wondering, from your perspective as a keeper, John, are you more worried about that 1v0, the attacker sweeps the ball wide and you have to plant, or where your posts are? It's an example of it now. Salter, way off into midfield. Sean decides to take an extra touch. Cavalry trying to reset. Aparicio, a touch too many. Alva and Tigney, Mosi breaking down as well. Orszewski with his goal to sink Forge in the Contenders semi-final last Sunday in Hamilton made him the CPL's all-time post-season goal-scoring leader. You would expect him to score as much as you'd expect Sam Salter, the Golden Boot winner, to have one for Atlético Ottawa. And yet, as we squint our eyes, John, and you think about everything that brought these clubs here, it's really not going to matter all that much tonight. It's execution and moments and adaptability, I'm sure. Orszewski, lovely trap by Intigny. Batney does his job, very well defended. The reason why he got a look as the defender of the year, and on top of that, the U21 Canadian player.
Just an excellent play here from Batney. Intigny has pace. He knows he's good in 1v1, but Batney does a really good job of putting himself between Intigny and the ball and just rides it out of bounds. Good defending there from the young center back.
He's a hometown boy as well. Both of these clubs are littered with a few of them. Aparicio smacks out at the warning flag. I'm sure there's a technical term for it, but we'll go with the big orange flag.
I think they have those in just to signify where the midway line is.
We're expecting another break shortly to once again clear the lines. We're 0-0 in the 30th minute of this 2025 CPL final. Dos Santos, Kabza, Intigny, caroms off Dos Santos. Kabza takes the loose ball, tries to go lateral with it. Koke, stolen slid. There was no one in red and white around. Alva decides to shoot and sends it into the snowbank.
Bit optimistic there from Kenija Alvia from 30 yards out. He's going to have to catch this. Absolutely perfect to beat Nate Ingham in these conditions.
I say quite noticeably too, John, since kickoff the temperature has gone down as well. The snow hasn't really changed. It has gotten cooler out here.
Yeah, it's definitely gotten colder out. I'm freezing up here in this booth. Snow's blowing right in my face. I'm wiping off my screen every 30 seconds with the amount of snow coming in so I can see what's going on in replays.
Yeah, can someone get Conway a squeegee? Club has to track that, and just look how much the ball gets hung up in the air. Club's header for Antigny.
Great turn from Antigny.
And to make sure the ball stays in front of him, close enough to dribble and be effective. This is quite effective. The tackle's in the box, and the penalty's awarded. Diego Mejia sprinting to the fourth official to voice his displeasure, but there was absolutely no hesitation from Mikhail Venn. Both of these teams with direct wingers that can cause problems in the snow. Unleash them, John Conway.
Well, great turn from Antigny. He drives forward on the dribble, going after the defenders, and two defenders are there to help out. Stepping from Bomeo misses, and then Dos Santos comes in from behind and catches him. Way to be aggressive from Antigny, taking the ball, driving forward, and putting the defenders for Ottawa under pressure. And they're rewarded with a penalty kick.
So the first goal in this year's CPL final could come from the penalty spots again. Last year it was Tobias Warshevsky who opened the scoring in such a fitting fashion. Nate Ingham, though, this season has got the better of Cavalry from the spot. He was able to stop Kenija Alva.
Little dangerous here from Minneapolis. So he's standing nearby, just kicking some snow back onto the penalty spot to not make it easy.
So it will be Fraser Airds to take this penalty. He is 1 for 1, having scored in his backyard in Toronto against York United earlier this year. Going up against Ingham, who's 1 for 2. It's Aird! Advantage to the Cavs! Snowballs being thrown at Airds from Section W, the supporters. I don't think you'll even feel it. Fraser Aird gets to play the villain away from home, and Cavalry, the defending North Star Cup champions, are in familiar territory leading the final.
Calm and cool, Fraser Aird steps up, sends Nate Ingham the wrong way, slots it low to the goalkeeper's right. Good confidence, side foots it. And it's 1-0 to Cavalry.
I'm sure it'll be a massive point of contention and debate for our panel at halftime. You know that during this quick stop where the shovels have come out in Ottawa's end, I think the players are now just hearing that they're going to have to take a break, but none of them want it. Neither Cavalry nor Atlético Ottawa. And good luck trying to yell from center to let the shovelers hear you. You won't be able to hear a thing.
Canadian soccer fans, we're different. We cheer on the Reds while cheering out our motherlands and each other's lands. Cheers to us. Cheers to the game.
Well, it's 1-0 to Cavalry thanks to Fraser Aird. Lots of discussion between the benches, I'm sure, to be a fly on the wall like Christian Jack. KJ.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Lots of things to get into down here. First of all, let's put an end to substitute gate. They eventually came out, as you saw on the broadcast, but not before Atlético Ottawa coach Diego Mejia pointed to the Cavalry bench and called Tommy Wheeldon Jr. directly, "You are a cheat." That didn't go over very well over here in the Cavalry bench, clearly. One thing of note, Cavalry now ahead by 1-0. Last time they lost a game when they were leading in any format, the beginning of the 2024 season at Forge. That's 36 games in a row. The Cavalry haven't lost with a lead. Whether you can consider that stat to be relevant or not in a game like this is another one. The third thing I want to talk to you about is the rules. They're still clarifying with Ben Hosk, the referee down here, the fourth official. During these breaks, are they allowed to call the players over to have chats? They've been told that they can, but players are players, and they just want to keep playing, guys. So, as you said, many of these guys don't even want to stop. This is just a little break for the lines as we get going again. And looks like the referee Ben is going to get the game going shortly, but that's clearly what's happening down here right now, is the players just want to keep going. But Cavalry leading as the snowblower goes by me. I'll throw it up to you guys.
JJ, thank you. Well, we're hearing that this could quite potentially be the thickest part of the snowstorm. And we're not exaggerating from up here in the booth. We have the television lights 10 feet away from us, and it is unlike anything I've seen in years.
Could possibly be the thickest. It's definitely the thickest and heaviest.
They feel like they're quarter-sized snowflakes, some of them. That's what we're contending with, both above and on the pitch. Of course, the players have it the worst, needing to manage, adjust, and still win a football game. And not just any football game, a final where, based on how the table went this year, Forge finishing first and lifting the CPL Shield. With that, they got one of 2 automatic berths for the Canadian Premier League in next season's Champions Cup for CONCACAF, where Cavalry started their season. You have to win this match to get it. We will join Forge in Vancouver. The Eagles of Langley qualifying through the Canadian Championship. This is great interplay. Ottawa's in the box. It looked a little bit like Tabla was offside, and the AR has their flag up just underneath us. Graham Forsyth of Winnipeg, his second consecutive CPL final, and North York's Twain Anderson run the lines today for Michael Venn.
Really good combination play here between Rodriguez and Salter, finding each other. The ball just pops back to Salter, and it just hops up on him in the snow. He can't make a good connection. A promising attack, and the combination play between Salter and Rodriguez, which has been there all season. You see it again there.
Marco Carducci surviving an early scare from David Rodriguez. It has been much quieter on his side of the pitch since. Cubs' header just over Koke. Rodriguez spotted the open man, just couldn't find him. Salter, that's a good hold-up play, and was caught by Gauthier and Tigny. Fouls given. Sam Salter, thoroughly deserving of a move to Europe. That's something he's admitted he's wanted for a very long time. He'll be joining former Atlético Ottawa winger Matteo de Brienne at Gais in Sweden in the new year. A pre-contract he signed for 2026. Obviously, his scoring and the amount of it, the regularity of it's catching the eyes of many across both North American and European circles. Dos Santos, a touch towards goal, and that's a really sore one for Gerasimenko. Dos Santos, pardon me, just trying to leap ahead, and you worry that the knee might have caught Gerasimenko on the way. See if we can spot it here, John.
It just pops right into the thigh of Dos Santos as he comes out to recover for that pass that was slightly behind him, but he does a good job of moving his feet and getting over to recover Gerasimenko.
Rodriguez, Dos Santos into the box, Klopp gets a touch. Aaron wasn't sure who was last off and didn't want to make a bad situation worse, so he pulls out and concedes the corner as a result.
Just get it into the box, get it into the danger area, and things happen. Almost an own goal there.
Perhaps that's not fair to say that he bailed out. I just don't think he had footing. That's how difficult it is down there. No doubt about this corner. Kevin Dos Santos will put it in the box. In swinger. Alva, I believe, knocks it out. Now Kluche trying to cross. Anyone's to claim in the air. Bicycle! Oh my golazo! The most incredible goal in CPL history!
snowflakes. David Rodriguez with an incredible finish. Corner kick, balls bouncing around. Cavalry can't clear their lines. We see the initial ball in, and Elva does a good job of getting it out, but the ball's not cleared. And this ball just floats back into a position for Rodriguez, who creeps in and goes overhead kick past Carducci. Incredible finish from David Rodriguez. And we got a tie game in the snow in Ottawa, our nation's capital, for the New Star Cup.
Muy bien. As Section W sees it on the Jumbotron, they can hardly believe their eyes. That is the goal of the season. Perhaps that's the greatest goal in Canadian Premier League history. And if you hadn't heard about this final before, take notes. It's not just snowy, it's full of the highest quality in Canadian football. How do Cavalry respond? There's their golden boy, Tobias Warshevsky.
Just tremendous concentration from David Rodriguez there in the snow. And I'm sure on the replay, that was the first time some of the fans on the far side away from that goal could see it.
From the highest levels of euphoria to the most important levels of concentration now for Atlético Ottawa. Just like how the match was tied, it's Cavalry's turn from the flag, and Warshevsky's trying to dig himself out a path to run up to the ball. The Ottawa bench is saying that it's not at the arc. The mind games that these two touchlines are playing against each other are incredible. Warshevsky drops it right in, doesn't miss the crossbar by very much.
Going for the Olympico there off the corner in the in-swinger.
Can you believe the theater of this final? Ingham slices it, and that almost went further wide than it went long. He's kicking into the wind. Obviously, that will be a great benefit to surviving this first half, John, as he won't have to worry about that as much in the second.
Extremely beneficial as well for Atlético Ottawa, scoring going against the wind. Come out in the second half and use the wind to your advantage.
Broken play, Schoen tries from distance. Looking like the Bundesliga logo as he goes through that ball. Which reminds me, John Conway, speaking of the Bundesliga, it's coming to One Soccer.
That's right.
Studio shows around every Bayern Munich match coming up November 21st. And of course, when the global superstar Alphonso Davies himself returns from injury, which we're hoping is very soon after this the upcoming, international break. We will be following that Bayern Munich team all the more closely. Fantastic news as One Soccer continues to grow.
Great opportunity to follow Alphonso Davies on his recovery. We'll see how he progresses as we get to 2026 World Cup next summer.
Oh, Rodriguez, what defensive hustle. Both sides of the ball. It felt like as we neared the CPL Awards, it was a two-player race for the Player of the Year Awards. I'm trying to think, John, if you remember, Christian Jack said of the over 140 votes for Player of the Year electing their peers, I think all but 6 of them went to either David Rodriguez or Sam Salter this year.
Just speaks to the impact they've had, not only on Atlético Ottawa, but the league. Every team highlights those two players when they have to defend against this group.
Good. Well, we are mere seconds away from first half stoppage time. information we're hearing is that we'll play 8 more minutes before the pause. And here is fourth official Ben Hoskins now. Stoppage time presented as always by fine folks at Burnbrae Farms. Here comes Airds, his goal from the penalty spot, open the scoring. Cancelled out by a moment of sheer brilliance from David Rodriguez.
Hey! Hey! No, no!
Caught by Kevin Dos Santos, keeping Gerasimenkov at the touchline.
Hey!
Gerasimenkov into the box. Insigne wasn't going to win with the court of public opinion, certainly right in front of the supporters section there, was he?
Doing a job of clearing a path to the ball, but most importantly, the plant foot, where he goes to put his plant foot into the ground, clear that area out, so you feel comfortable driving your foot through it.
Easy!
Salter and Insigne, not quite tete-a-tete, but not far from it either. Salter letting go to know he wasn't thrilled with what he thought was a tug of his shirt.
Good. Behind the ball, good.
Comes up. Rodriguez. That's another foul for Insigne, who has to start being mindful of some potential persistent infringement. I believe that's 3 he's conceded in this first half.
No, even though the conditions are sloppy, you can't be sloppy with your defending. Insigne's just laid, sticks a foot in, but gives Atlético Ottawa a big opportunity here off a free kick in extra time. So critical. They scored their first goal off third phase opportunity off a corner kick. Cavalry could not clear their lines. Big opportunity here as we get close to halftime.
Rodriguez. And one side of the flag, that'll be a corner. Trading one set play for another. You hear the chatter in the Caps box. Stay switched on. Just get it out. Rodriguez, top of the 6, met by Dan Klump. Luce sends it ahead, tackle on the line was well timed. Musi, there goes Insigne again, a step on Dos Santos. All the way to the touchline as it's just kept in play. Nearly halfway through first half stoppage time, Ottawa trying to tack onto their lead. Rodriguez finds Tabla. Balu Tabla, his cross, found again by Klump. Tracking the ball so well through the snow in this first half.
Good attack, a good bit of possession here from Atlético Ottawa.
Cavalry under siege right now. Antonoro blew a tire. Gives them a chance to possess and not just need to frantically clear. Salter, great take off the chest. Rodriguez, Tabla, Sam Salter switching to his left and throwing a shot off Gerasimenkov. Insigne tried a cheeky chip. Aird says nothing in my box.
Atlético's got this field tilted in their favor. Can they sneak one before halftime? Great opportunities here. Having great hold-up play from Sam Salter. allowing the wing backs to get in the attack. David Rodriguez has been helpful on this right-hand side, being available once Salter holds the ball up in the middle of the park.
Koke jumping into Alva. Cavalry wasn't thrilled with it. They're in possession either way. Olszewski dispossessed with a standing tackle by the veteran Koke. Antonoro very cleverly plays that in behind Ed, who's racing back to try to block the cross. He can't. Who's got the ball? Rodriguez. Here's the shot blocked. Incredible sacrifice in defense. Antigny. Cavalry slow down to catch their breath. Bomio meets the ball in the air. That's sloppy. Fortunately for Ottawa, Antigny loses the ball as soon as it was gifted to him. I mean, we're at the point where you would think if we weren't so close to halftime, they'd have to stop again to do the lines. It's thick out there. Ball's getting stuck left and right. Gerasimenkoff ahead. Antigny brings himself back on side, and again, like Jimmy Brennan mentioned to us before the match, if I'm a keeper, John, I'm saying nothing back to me in these conditions.
Absolutely, and Bomio does a really good job of turning around, playing that ball forward and not back to Nate Ingham.
Just over 60 seconds to go. Aparicio tackled by Olszewski. Referee says play on. Salter with an arm on Olszewski, and this time the whistle blows.
I think at halftime we're going to need more than the lines being removed here. They're going to have to bring out the full plow to get this thing going. So much snow in the last 15 minutes accumulating on the field. The ball is definitely slowing down. The first bit of this game, the ball was moving nicely and could get away with some passes on the ground. Now, no chance.
Kabza, you can hear him shout, ow, as that caught him broadside on the thigh. Salter initiated the contact with Tom Field and then sliding through Gerasimenkoff. Salter will be shown a yellow, the first caution. Referee perhaps saying that first attempt might have been 50-50, but back-to-back wasn't going to avoid punishment.
No, it definitely comes from behind. Doesn't get any of the ball as he comes through the back. Sam Salter trying to get in and defend, prevent anything going forward. Picks up the first yellow card of this match. That ignites the crowd.
What that should also do is be the end of the half. And is so, as soon as Tom Field strikes the football, to see what comes our way. It is Atlético Ottawa who kick off. They now attack the goal to the right side of your screen. If you can make out the red and white stripes, that's what they're wearing today. Antonoro quickly goes to work, scooting in behind Fraser Aird and winning a corner for his side.
Great start from Atlético Ottawa. Direct from Manny Aparicio. Gabriel Antonoro does a good job of getting on the end of it. And early into the second half, Ottawa has a corner kick. Scoring on in the first half off second phase from corner kick. Big time opportunity here to start the second half with a bang for Ottawa.
It's Kevin Dos Santos into the 6. Dan Klump. We've called him the Flying Dutchman for years for reasons that have become quite evident to you based on that corner kick defending. He had many aerial clearances in the first half. He'll need even more in the second. Dos Santos, another in-swinger. Alva this time. Re-rack and go again.
Dos Santos doing a really good job of whipping the ball into dangerous areas, forcing Cavalry to be first to it.
Dos Santos for a third time, deeper at the last. Sam Salter contests. Can't get his noggin on it. No changes personnel-wise from either of these sides. The change that I think you've spotted, but in case you're wondering, did the refs change their shirts? Yes, they did. And that's so they can be more visible in the whiteouts. Carducci restarting, going into the wind, though it has come slightly. The snow sure hasn't. Klomp, outside the box, high, hits the stanchion. David Rodriguez trying to win this match all by himself. He's a game breaker.
Bit of indecision there from Marco Carducci. Him and Klomp caught between two minds. Klomp's anticipating that ball, hopefully gliding back off the snow to Carducci, and it just sticks. It just gets caught in between them. Salter with the pressure, causing havoc. Big opportunity here. Start the second half. Ottawa just seems to be on the front foot ever since the Cavalry goal. Cavalry's sort of backed off, not first to a lot of balls. Cavalry's just needs to turn that around. Ottawa's been very good, front foot, attacking. And towards the end of the first half, field was tilted in their favor. They really needed to get another goal and weren't able to do so. But they come out in the second half, and the field continues to be tilted into Ottawa's favor.
It's Eric Kobza trying to guide Sam Salter out of the box. Careful not to foul so close to goal. Mosi slips and slides, and a clattering tackle. That was Rodriguez on the floor for a moment. Koke, beg your pardon. Salter with the right idea, trying to turn. Shemit Shom asking Elva to make a run. Elva with a nice, strong shoulder-to-shoulder challenge on Ronnie Mbomio. It's David Rodriguez picking up the loose ball. Rodriguez is fouled. Referee's gone to his pocket as well for the yellow cards. Mikhail Gerasimenkov shown a yellow.
Well, even through the snow and being as far away as we are, Adam, I can still see Gerasimenkov get two hands up into the back of Rodriguez for the foul.
I genuinely do not know how Marco Carducci can see a thing. He's going to really have to trust his wall, and maybe he needs to be a little bit lucky in terms of the contact points from Manu Aparicio here. Aparicio knuckles it. It's bumped by Carducci. It was more of a volleyball player than a football goalkeeper, but whatever it takes.
Exactly right, Adam. Whatever it takes, that ball's through traffic. Carducci does a really good job of getting his body behind it and just blocking it down so he can get on top of it.
Well, one of the first times all half the Cavalry are on the attack. They're in the box and behind Mosi. Kanija Elva takes the loose ball. Another near overhead kick attempt. To score from open play, it has to make the top 10. Understood. Away from Mbomio. Cavalry take it back. They are deep inside Ottawa territory now. Antigone does enough to steal. Antigone jogs into contact, and the foul goes against Cavalry, I believe. Frustration starting to mount for both of these clubs. Remember how I told you the wind was gone? It's back. This is the hardest visibility of any of the 52 minutes we've played so far.
For the people at home to appreciate these conditions. Adam and I are at the midfield line looking down, and this snow is coming down sideways and heavy at the moment. I don't know how, if you're a goalkeeper, you can see all the way across the other side of the field. We're having a difficult time seeing where we're at. Players must be struggling as well.
Knija Alpha will perhaps try to profess to the referee that he didn't see the player in front of him, but doesn't make it any less of a foul. Towards the Caps box. The loose ball taken by Shamit Shom. 28-year-old from Edmonton, Alberta, called up to the Bangladesh national team this season. He has been a dominant force of multiple midfields, but he has really found a home with Cavalry. Warshevsky trying to shuffle that ahead. It's a race for the ball. Kobza goes to ground and pinballs around. And there is space. Whelan Jr. throws his hand up in frustration. They weren't able to find any way to attack. That's great from Dan Klump. Alva was looking back towards the Dutchman, trying to find it. Ingham at the top of his box, he thought to reach down and grabs the ball.
That was just a guess from Nate Ingham exactly where he was.
Stolen back by the Caps. They are undernumbered, but Intigne's charging forward again, just like he won the penalty in the first half. This time, no, I thought that was a corner. The referee said directly off the Atlético Ottawa defender. That's almost what he's trying to do, John. As much as he's trying to shoot, he's thinking, well, if I just get myself in a good spot, I might put the defenders in an awkward one.
Exactly, Adam. If you get into the box, I mean, as long as you get the ability to drive into the box, it forces the defenders have to slide over. And with the way people were slipping and going to ground early, you can create another opportunity where the referee has to point to the penalty spot.
Here's Balu Tabla, the former Barcelona product, reinvigorating his career here in Ottawa. He's lost one CPL final. He doesn't want to lose another. Channeling all of that motivation and hunger. Still a young man, 26 years old. Ivorian-born, Montreal raised. Very much one of the three-headed monsters of this Cavalry attack, along with Salter and Rodriguez.
Any opportunity with a free kick inside the attacking half, I'm shoving it right into the box, and we see that now from Ottawa.
Klopp looks down, sees a bright orange football, and tries to kick it towards half. Salter, Tabla, and Bomeo can't go through the legs of it. That's well defended. Antonoro, he'll have time. Antonoro, good-looking ball. Salter and Rodriguez both leaping. Neither could get the contact they needed to trouble Marco Carducci.
Got a good look on this side of Gabriel Antonoro setting that ball up to cross in the box. And there is a lot of snow on the flanks. It is so much fun to watch these players try and adapt to these situations. Being able to move the ball, being able to collect the ball. It's so difficult, but there's so much on the line that these players have to embrace this opportunity. 1-1, we got another 34 minutes to go here for the champion of 2025.
This will be the hardest final to lose and the most incredible final to win for either of these teams. For all of those young footballers that's played football in the snow at recess and dreamed of lifting a trophy, that's this, but the stakes couldn't be higher. Airds trying to use his body to shield Tabla, and the foul goes against Atlético Ottawa, and Tabla, somewhere down in what looks like a snowbank, is feeling the effects of that entanglement.
A bit unfortunate there for Tabla as Aird goes to ground. I think he just catches Tabla with his boots. You can see it there. On the slide, the right boot of Aird comes up and just incidental contact with the head. It's a good view of it there. The previous views had a little bit of snow in the way. Couldn't see it clearly, Adam.
I'm almost wondering, too, as we clear off our monitors the best that we can, if the studs from Aird come and swipe Balou Tabla on the forehead as they had already gone to ground, and that's what's causing the most distress, if not discomfort, or the other way around, beg your pardon. Tabla looks okay.
You think he's got some hot chocolate in those Gatorade bottles? Because I would love to have a hot chocolate right now.
Put in the request. So here's how we got here. The tail of the tape thus far. Gauthier and Tigny drawing a penalty scored by Fraser Aird, and then David Rodriguez. And if you'd believe, the second time that Atlético Ottawa have beat Cavalry and Marco Carducci with an overhead kick. Tabla did it on the way to winning the CPL Shield a couple of years ago. Tabla given the green light by his trainer. He has to wait for the fourth official. Tubfield came sliding forwards. Klomp off the left shoulder, but the ball was awkwardly in front of him. A swing and a miss from Tubfield. He scuffs it, and Salter able to touch that in behind. Salter back into the box now. Farno Santos off Klomp. Gerasimenkov's header taken down, and pinballs around, and look at this, and Tigny. There's numbers here for Cavalry, 4v3. Trying to thread the needle, which is not an easy thing to do on a good day. Musi leapt early. Kabza. Keep away right now amongst the two sides. Rodriguez all by his lonesome, still gets in behind. Gerasimenkov, goal side, doesn't prevent the pass. Tabla had one defender to put it through the legs, and Antonoro was gone. Charging back Alva. Mejia's arms are outstretched. He wanted a foul. The referee was much closer and says play on. Cavalry wanting a handball. They're not going to get it. Antonoro. Backside of Gerasimenkov. Cavalry trying their best not to foul in the box. Dos Santos returns it. Ottawa looking to go ahead. It's Antonoro off Salter, and the sting out of the ball. So the 60th minute comes, and the referee's going to ask, rightfully so, I think we can all agree, for a pause and for the lines to be shoveled and snowblowed. An incredible 15 minutes to start this second half, and yet we're still knotted up at ones. Well, Christian Jack, I hope you can hear us down there, my friend. Let's go down pitch side for another update.
Yeah, I got you guys just about. I'm going to break some rules here, actually, just walk on the field a little bit just to figure it out. What they've actually asked, if you can still hear me, is they've actually asked the players to come over because it's actually getting far worse out here. It's getting a lot deeper. So they've actually asked the players to come over and get a little bit more of a bit of a break. I think a couple of things on the Cavalry side is they're getting concerned that too many players are beyond the ball. Sergio Camargo, if anyone's watching this game for the first time in the CPL this year, one of the best players in our league this season, got hurt in the last game of the season, the regular season, was nominated for Player of the Year, has been out for 3 weeks. Looks like for me he's going to come in, and I'm hearing maybe Kenija Elva will be removed. I heard them thinking about getting Camargo ready. Bradley Camden has also looked like he's getting ready down here in the Cavalry bench as well. And I don't know, I would imagine that this would be maybe a game that Sergio could go a little bit longer in. You know, they're not moving as many kilometers as they normally would do. They're not running as much. So that's something that I'm just sharing now, that it looks like both Camargo and Camden will get on. Fraser Ed, who's one of 2 players, I think, down here without long sleeve, just got a massive smile on his face. It's like 2 yards away from me, but yeah, it's just, like I said, it's not a football game down here as these guys continue to talk, but Camden and Camargo, by the look of it, getting set to come on shortly. Or definitely Camden is now dressed. Camargo's just put his coat back on for now, but we'll keep an eye on that. Would not be surprised to see him come back on shortly. As for the Ottawa side, doesn't look like too many changes at the moment over there, but they continue to change the lines. And as ever, if you guys need me, I'm down here.
KJ, thank you very much. I literally spent your entire hit looking for you, and we're not exaggerating. As you just saw by that shot, panning across the sky, we're looking down near and far, and Christian Jack patrolling the touchline for us, camouflaged by the snow. Well, it's an interesting point he makes, John, about Sergio Camargo and his potential addition to the match. Held out with a calf strain for a couple of weeks, but Christian's right. It's not a game where your starters are running 13 kilometers, which is average for a lot of the players on the pitch right now, certainly in midfield. It's a bit more technical. It's a bit more stop-start. Now, obviously, Sergio's not going to tell the trainer he's good to go if he's worried about planting, because there's no traction tonight. But in terms of wear and tear, maybe he gets to go longer today than he otherwise would have.
Again, Adam, I don't know, because for me, snow, sand, and you have a calf injury, that's just going to aggravate it more and more. Again, he's coming in, he's going to have 27 minutes or so to make an impact. And if he feels like he can do it based on the conditions, all the better, because he's such a good player, and a player that can get on the ball and calm this down and make some good decisions in the midfield.
Here comes Bradley Camden-Feo. He replaces Mikhail Gerasimenkov. Gerasimenkov, who was just being run down, the young Canadian player. Of course, he doesn't want to leave the match. He might feel a little bit better, pardon me, once he gets a park on. So maybe it's not so bad down here. But Bradley Camden-Feo, a French-Canadian in the Parisian sense of the words, has called Calgary home for a long time now. He is a veteran of this club. He works in the offices in and around the club in the off-season as well. He is more than just a builder as an athlete. He's a builder on both sides. Uh-oh. We're back after the drop ball, and Carducci needed some help from Fraser Aert. The starter's pistol's just gone off again. Salter, that gets underneath his man. Here's Kenija Elva, who, based on Christian Jack's reporting, might be on some limited minutes. Can he make an impact before he leaves and watches the rest of the match from the bench? It's Elva. Gote and Tigney. Close to Musi, and Ali knew it. And now, despite doing everything he thought he could within the letter of the law to win the ball back, and Tigney's called for, I think, Sean, his 5th foul of the match.
Interesting to see what Tommy Williams really does here with the Kenija Elva coming out. Kenija Elva has been so good in the air for Cavalry this whole season. In this type of weather, you're going to need a guy who's good at holding the ball up, good at winning in the air. If you bring in Camargo, you're going to look to play a bit more, well, possession-based, and possession on a day like today isn't going to get you anywhere.
And you also think that Warshevsky then would play his more usual number 9. He's the most unconventional number 9 in the Canadian Premier League's history, but Sergio's position has been and likely would be again somewhere, you say, connecting the attack and the defense. I suppose on a night like tonight, he'll connect the best that he could. Still yet to really see much from Atlético Ottawa until now, as that foul is given against the Ottawa attacker. We can tell you that we see Abubakar Sissoko, a Canadian Premier League champion, who's already got his match shirt on and looks like he's making his way towards the 4th official.
Well, at this point, we need to start taking some of the techniques from beach soccer and applying it here. Passes cannot be on the ground. You've got to hit little passes dinked in the air for players to collect out of the air. Not allowed to get on the ground where it can stop. Roll pass, maybe. Just makes it more difficult. Can you just clip it in the air, make it easy on your teammate to receive the ball?
Tell you what, John Conway, the coldest beach I've ever been on. Here's Antonoro. Airden Kabza reducing his angles. Antonoro goes into the box. Clock calls off. Ali Musi back to help defend. Reshevsky couldn't stop in time. That's exactly what Aparicio's doing, lifting it up in the air and running through. It's David Rodriguez. Finds Antonoro, trying to go quick on the volley and sneak that past Carducci. And now Diego Mejia makes his first substitution. It's Juan Castro, Koke leaving for Abu Sissoko as we get another look at Antonoro's opportunity. Veteran presence, Abu Sissoko. It's been so hard to crack into this midfield. Really, this 11 has been almost unchangeable. And Koke in his first season has really left an impact on this Atlético Ottawa side. Yin and yang with he and Manny Aparicio, isn't he? They both complement each other's skill sets so well. Sissoko's going to give you better presence in the air, physicality as well. Foul against Cavalry, and Reshevsky is asking the question, how?
Just bodies banging into each other all over the pitch right now. The ball gets caught up in the snow. Defenders are able to recover. Attackers are trying to recover, and it's just adding to the collisions.
Well, we're so used to handing out the Gatorade performance of the match, but in the Canadian Premier League final, it is a little bit different. We will have the finals MVP fueled by Gatorade as a part of today's post-match ceremonies. Stay tuned after the final whistle. We'll find out who will win the last awards before the North Star Cup. Loïc Cloutier scrambling. His clearance right off the chest of Elva. That's unrelenting play from Shamit Shom, who thought he was fouled, to get that out wide to Musi. Musi caught that on the sweet spot. It sat up well. Shom with another under the radar touch. He's just doing such a fabulous job managing the snow. Gareth Wheeler joking with the league at the awards the other day that he should be presented with the steel boot, John, for playing so many matches and not getting his goal. I believe it's 125, if not 130 for Shamit Shom. He does all the right things in the Cavalry midfield. Flipped over the top, chased back by Fraser Air. Tabla still has room to try to create. He delays, and Tenoro overplayed, and it's into touch.
Unfortunately for Tabla, they just can't gauge the weight of the ball. He tries to lift it and get it towards the end line for Antonoro to get onto.
Bulgarian captain Marco Carducci sends it away towards the second half. It drops just over the midway line. Reshevsky, good ball, and Tigney charges the box. Hustle from Noah Abadne. one of his best of the match. He's had a lot of Intigne to contend with.
Just a great recovery from Abatne. Good touch forward from Intigne, not looking to take any dribbles, short dribbles, just pops into the box and try to get to the end of it, excuse me, and Abatne's in a good position to recover, clear it away.
Cavalry, they're trying to return the favor. David Rodriguez tying the match in this exact scenario. Warshevsky, ball into the 6. Nobody can find it. Here comes Air, the goal scorer. His cross back for Warshevsky, blocked. Ottawa scrambling. They somehow survive. What a ball, what a touch. And Tenoro continues this counterattack. He's sent head first into the snow. Referee plays the advantage. The all-important go-ahead goal is what is riding on these next 20 minutes. Tabla, the give and go. Tabla's gone. Carducci with the stop.
Massive moment there for Carducci. Great job coming out and being big.
Substitutes Sissoko over the top. Sorry, Johnny goes just too far in front of Tabla.
Well, excellent work there from Marco Carducci. Great decision to come out and be big. Ball's over the top, comes out, can't get to it, but stays, plants his feet, and just in a good position to block. Really good job there from the veteran goalkeeper Carducci. Big moment there for Ottawa, and a big opportunity, but Carducci's up to the task.
Still about 2 more minutes before the next snow removal stoppage. Ottawa substitutes up and moving behind Marco Carducci. Cavalry doing the same behind Nate Ingham. Will we find a winner from a substitute? Klopp. A bit clumsy, and now some pushing and shoving as Klopp knew he had to stall a little bit.
Well, Klopp and Salter just been at it all night. Good battle there between the two of them. Salter comfortable playing with his back to goal, even in these conditions. Trying to hold the ball up, and we see another opportunity off a free kick just inside the half. Going to get lumped into the box.
There goes Carducci, punches. Mosi with a bicycle clearance. I suppose it's much comfier to land in the snow when you're already freezing cold. Mosi started this clearance, and he's going to drag Cavalry all the way to the Ottawa attacking half. Mosi's ball. Intigne looking. Intigne finding it. What defending. It's fabulous. Couldn't put a foot wrong and concede a second penalty. That's Manu Aparicio, one of Atleti's MVPs. Here's Warshevsky. Alva had the right run, but the ball got stuck in the snow. Rodriguez, I believe, still holding his chin as he might have taken a stray elbow or forearm. He's slow to get back into position, but looks okay. He has to hustle because Cobbs is working a short ball off the throw-in restarts. No handball, says Michael Venn, and I'm going to have to trust him. Well, that could be something. It could be match-altering. It's just yellow. Cavalry want a different color. There was no hesitation from the referee who had his mind made. It's the substitute, Abu Sissoko, on Warshevsky.
Sissoko just in the match and is late. Warshevsky does a really good job of fighting for that ball. Gets his foot out just in front of Sissoko. Sissoko trying to find his footing in this match, coming in as a sub. Picks up a yellow card.
So while Cavalry design a free kick on one end, the shovels are out on the other. So Tobias Warshevsky has cleared a path to Plants. Referee asks for a moment, and before the free kick can be taken, it looks like we're going to have the snow removal crew come out on the other side of the pitch as well. I don't think anyone will mind. This could be the moment of the second half. Well, there's no doubt that the moment of the first half was this incredible sequence, the setup leading to today's Walmart delivery of the match and leading to one of the greatest goals in Canadian Premier League history, perhaps the most consequential. And I say that as the announcer that called an Olympico in extra time a couple of years ago. The players making their way back to the bench for some tactical adjustments, and we are going to send you back down to Christian Jack, who's somewhere down there. Do you have snowshoes yet, KJ?
I didn't bring snowshoes.
That's disappointing.
It's a rookie mistake. So no, here's what I can tell you. There's another gap here for 75 to clear the field. In fact, during that free kick, there was permission to be given on the opposite side for the clearance of the opposite side when that was already happening. The Atlético Ottawa bench didn't like that. There was someone who was blocking their goal, but the officials were basically saying the moment the free kick was over, they were going to call for this gap. Now, there's been an incredible amount of discussion down here during this half about what's going on the broadcast in terms of what can happen for this game. Here's what people need to know. If the game was stopped now and there was given a complete approval to snowplow the entire field, it's 40 minutes. So here's where we're at. I'm told 75 minutes, there's a gap now. They're going to do the same again at 85. And as Sergio Camargo gets ready to come on here, by the way, if this ends 1-1 at 90, it looks like they're going to be approval to snowplow the entire field, and there'll be a 40-minute delay. That's what I'm hearing right now. A 40-minute delay if it goes to 90 minutes and it's a final whistle. So Sergio Camargo coming on after this, but that's the update from down here between the benches, guys.
Christian, beyond valuable, thank you. And yes, big news for this match. It might not be needed, but I look at the pitch, John, from our perch as we see Tobias Warszewski reading a free kick, and I don't know how else they could do it if extra time's still to be played. There's about, I would imagine, at least 3 inches of snow covering every inch of this artificial turf at TD Place.
And thicker in the flank areas, which leads me to believe that they need to start playing down the middle a bit more. Out in the flank, the ball's just going to stop. Can you get in the middle of the park?
Warszewski, can he get it in the box? There goes Elva. Taken down by Tom Field, and it's loose! Ingham, are you kidding? Goal line stop to keep this game tied! Warszewski over the bar! Unbelievable! First the great Nate, and then he gets a massive hand from the back line.
Just a tremendous sequence here. Ball in the box from Warszewski. It's just bouncing around all over the place. Ottawa's first to get to it, and then Cavalry has an opportunity. Both bouncing. What a save! Great reaction on Dan Klomp from Nate Ingham. Klomp right in front of him, 5 yards away, and flicks it on the frame. And Nate Ingham does a great job of reacting to make the save.
Well, Nate Ingham was congratulating Jassim Kalilat for winning the Golden Glove a couple of nights ago, but anyone that knows Nate knows that he believes that award should have been his, and it's moments like that that make him such an incredibly pivotal piece of this Ottawa defensive group, let alone a fabulous captain and spokesperson for this club. Sissoko with the goal line save, the substitute.
Well, I was just about to bring up, what a play by Sissoko as well. He had Ingham making a huge save, and then Sissoko clearing it off the line. Tremendous opportunity there for Cavalry.
Camargo in the match for Musi, by the way, as Air gets us restarted. It's just over the head of Shamit Shom. Bradley Camden failed. Klomp is looking for it and chesting it down. It's loose, it's struck and blocks, and Bomeo this time.
Massive clearances off the line and massive blocks in the last 2 plays for Atlético Ottawa. I like what Tommy Wilden has done. They kept Kenichi Elva on the field. They removed Musi, who is dynamic and pacey. That gets nullified today in this weather. So you leave Elva on the field, able to work the ball in the air and win balls centrally. And you got another playmaker in the midfield who's just going to receive it and lump it in the box, I would think, for these types of actions here.
Well, it's in the box right now. Camargo, his momentum took him away from the ball. Show him after the half clearance from Aparicio. Full clearance this time. Klump had to be sure-footed. Eric Kobza for Camargo. Warshevsky, it goes through his legs. And Tabla takes the loose ball. Sweeps it under the foot of Dan Klump. And then, yeah, this is divulging into recess. That's a tactical foul as the defender goes flying through the air to take down Balu Tabla. Shom really earned that one.
Well, a tremendous move from Tabla there to avoid Klump. And then he had space to go and run, and Shom comes in and just wraps him up around the waist like he's making an open field tackle. This is what you're going to see a lot of here as we get late into this match. Any restart, ball is just going to be lumped into the box. Defensively, you've got to be sound. Clear your lines. Offensively, be ready for anything. Loose balls, second balls.
Cavalry's defenders stand their ground. 83rd minute of the 2025 CPL final. Fraser Air from the spot. David Rodriguez from his dreams has made this 1-1. And with every passing minutes, the stakes get higher as the snow does the same, piling up. Interesting to note as well, John, that we're seeing Elva. I know he's on the third or fourth phase of this free kick, but he's helping out back there as well, deeper, almost in Gerasimenkov's left back area. Klump, well, he gets it wide, but at what cost? Camden Feo, excellent tackle on Salter, careful not to foul. Rodriguez wanted that to come to his feet. Kobza wins a throw for Cavalry, 84th minute in Ottawa.
Really good defensive play there from Camden Feo. Could have easily been loose with his defending and late. Go to ground, keeps his feet, does a really good job.
Unbelievable from the Atlético Ottawa supporters who are huddled together for warmth, singing and dancing, trying to help guide their team to a victory. They've had their hearts broken in the CPL final once already at home. They want to rewrite the script tonight. Down to the touchline comes Kevin Dos Santos. I mean, it's up to their shins out there now, the defenders. Warshevsky preemptively slides and gets on the ball first. Just toying with Atlético Ottawa until the very end. Flag raised for offside. Our first offside of the match in the 85th.
Well, you know who comes back and recovers that initial ball with Sergio Camargo as we take a look at Warshevsky sliding on Tabla there to make the tackle. But Camargo, coming as a sub, coming off a calf injury, hasn't played in a few weeks. And he's back defensively, making plays. Just a huge, huge personality and a huge figure for this Cavalry team.
Almost in tears immediately when asked about this season, becoming a new father. Less than 2 months ago, being nominated for Player of the Year. Trying to win consecutive finals. Heck, he might be trying to win the championship clincher in back-to-back years. He did say in the pre-match, everything on target or everything towards the keepers. We'll take another break, and when we come back from this snow removal stoppage, we will do so without Balu Tabla. He's replaced by the New Zealander Monty Patterson. The Kiwi comes in, and I beg your pardon, I was expecting a snow removal stoppage. I thought that's what the referee had gestured, but we play on. think, John, next goal wins?
Absolutely.
It's
We're going
not
to take one opportunity here and finish this off. Who's going to get it between these two teams?
foul against Atlético Ottawa as they make their displeasure known. Dos Santos with a wry smile on his face. We had 8 minutes of stoppage time in the first half. I imagine we'd see another big number unless the decision's been made by the coaches and the officials that once we see 90, we're going to break and get this field plowed. Camden Feo, Klump goes chasing, Ingo knocks it down, and it's collected and cleared by Aparicio. Gabriel Antonaro, oh, he toe pokes and trips on the snowdrift at the midway line. Surprised we haven't seen more of that. Shamit Shom collects the ball and his ankles aren't even visible. That's how deep it is along the touchline. Patterson leans into Orshevsky. Shom's asking where that yellow card is because he got booked for a similar tactical foul.
Well, tensions are high here, and we see Monty Patterson coming in late. Orshevsky not giving up on the ball. Excuse me, that's Cloutier coming across for the tackle. But this is in a good location for Fraser Ayer to get in the box. It's going to be critical. Clear the area around the ball. I can't believe I'm saying that. But clear the area around the ball of snow and get a good whipped ball in to the area.
You could argue, John, that if they do it properly, and it looks like they are, they basically get a kicker's team, gridiron style. It's everything else in and around the ball. That's the tricky part, is Ayer still tries to boom his way into an open patch of turf.
Well, you can see the three Cavalry players on top of the box. Anything that comes out, Camargo's sitting right in the middle on top of the D. You can't see the D, but he's right there, ready to go and pounce on it if anything comes out. Starts with a good ball in.
It's found by Alva. He lost his balance as he struck it. Ottawa send it no further than the Cavalry midway line. Bradley Camden Feo dumps that into the corner. Orshevsky, does he play that with an arm? Yes, he does. See if we can spot it. The right hand, yes. Okay, so here the 89th, the snow removal will recommence. So that makes me think maybe we won't have 5-10 more minutes. Well, Nathan Ingham, what more can you say about the man? Keswick, Ontario zone. They call him All-State Nate. And it's moments like this to tell you why. The save of the match, it had to be this, Sean Conway.
Great save, good positioning from Ingham. As Klopp is merely 5 yards away from him. Reaction save, gets a ball up in time, and then he's able to get back up and recover and to get a piece of the second one. Great job from Ingham. And great job from Sissoko clearing off the line to back up Ingham after making some huge saves.
Well, this isn't the first time, not even in the last decade, I can imagine. 2017, I believe, Grey Cup 105, the 105th Grey Cup. The Argos and the Stamps, it was the Snowball. And now it's Association football's turn to have their nights under the tundra that has become Ottawa, Ontario. Heard from some folks today, John, that obviously this is a city that's used to snow, but someone was saying that they have a relative that does a snowplow company. I don't know if they got the contract for this job or not, but what they did say, it's the earliest that they had been called in 21 years to get the fleet ready. And again, because the clock doesn't stop for the snow removal, we have now entered stoppage time. It's halfway up the Derby Star ball. The initial indication was 6 additional minutes, and really the referee math is hard on a good day, John, as you well know, but even harder today. Would imagine we'll go for 5 more, and then we'll get the snowplows out if we don't have a championship clincher. Patterson comes to receive, couldn't get to the line in time. Switched over, Rodriguez is tracking. He'll shoot! A thunderous left-footed strike. Doesn't make Carducci dive.
Great ball over the top, direct, and a tremendous first touch from Rodriguez, trying to set this up. Can't wrap his left foot around it, and then eats a bunch of snow as he slides after the shot. Even in these conditions, you can see the quality of David Rodriguez. Great first touch there. Several times during this match, is able to get on the ball, complete a pass, complete a couple dribbles. So tough in these conditions.
Camargo back disrupting and doing that effectively. Cavalry are once again in control. This is the 3rd minute of second half stoppage time. It is presented by Burnbrae Farms. There goes Warshevsky. Couldn't play that around Antonoro, who saved it, only to immediately send it into touch moments later. Fraser Airds asking for more of his teammates to go forward. The good news is the snow actually has relented. It's the lightest it's been since kickoff. Club, but a guide Elva. Again, that's the right move from Abatne. He wasn't sure of himself, so he takes no chances. Well, he's sure of himself, John. He's not sure of his feet.
Smart play. No sense mucking around and trying to get it up out of bounds. Just get it out of bounds. Don't try and play. Just get it moving. Live to fight another day.
Fraser Aird being jeered by the Ottawa supporters. They deserve so much credit for helping make this atmosphere what it's been tonight. Cops up. Keeps that cross in. It's off the back of Elva. Shome called off by Klopp, who hangs up a tempting ball. Abatne's header. Cops on the second effort. Warshevsky thought about another overhead. And we'll never know as the whistle for a foul brings the play to a halt.
See a replay here of this contact. Warshevsky looks to receive. Foul is called. Every time I see the ball hit the ground, though, you're losing like half the ball with the amount of snow that's on the pitch. They have to come out once we get through this 90 minutes and plow this. We don't have a winner here.
Well, Antigny kept his arms by his hips. Ottawa still think that should have been a handball. Antigny's the player off to the races now, and it's a great move into the box. I can't imagine there's anything more frustrating than an attacking winger than that. Tackled by the snow, not the defender. Patterson and Kobza come together. Eric slow to his feet, put up. Cloutier redirecting that away from Kanija. Elva as Gabby Antonoro locates David Rodriguez. Airds sends back the first pass. On the second attempt, it reaches D-Rod. 1v1 defending Fraser Airds. Careful not to foul. Rodriguez flung himself forward. There was contact, but he really oversold it, and that's why he didn't get his penalty. Here's Camargo. Lays that off. Elva sends it ahead. Antigny. At least he kept Mbomio on the ground if he didn't win his header. Patterson's gone as we're down to the final 30 seconds of stoppage time. Camden Faya with the block, can't get there though to prevent the corner. Set piece to defend, we get a look at that shout for penalty.
Rodriguez tries to slip in between Aird and the ball, but Aird does recover. I don't see a foul there. Rodriguez oversells it. A huge opportunity here for Atlético Ottawa.
This could be the title. Out-swinging corner. The header to the top of the 6. More shouts for penalty. They're waved away by Mikael then, because even if that was, the ball was out for a goal kick. It was an outswinger, not an in-swinger, and Antonoro sent the entirety of that ball over the end line. Pardon me, Kevin Dos Santos does. And credit to the assistant referee, Graham Forsyth, for spotting that and raising his flag. Truly unbelievable Canadian Premier League final. That's go. They have piled back into Section W, these fabulous Atlético Ottawa supporters, and you know that the taps are flowing at the various watch parties in Calgary, Alberta. Both cities that want nothing more than to see their club crowned a champion. For Ottawa in particular, the Red Blacks did the job a few years ago, but this city, with such a great sporting scene, they're hungry for more. Cavalry hungry to defend their championship. That could be big trouble. Noah Badney shown a yellow in a different context. That's likely a straight red. And it's Gote Intigne, John Conway, doing exactly what he did in the first half, causing problems with his speed and direct play.
Using his pace, but absolutely should have been a red card. Intigne's in behind the back line, and Badney comes over recklessly 2 feet and takes out Intigne. I think the referee got it wrong there. Needed to show the red. He's in. Huge opportunity, and we saw the pace of Intigne. Even with the snow in the first half, he was able to use it. In this case, great ball from the substitute Camargo in behind to release Intigne. And we got Cavalry with the first opportunity in extra time.
Another look at it, and you could very much argue, certainly from that angle, last man too. It's not a clear-cut breakaway. There was help in the center. I understand all these things, but Cavalry will feel certainly aggrieved if they don't score here. Warshevsky into the box off Salter, just missing the post, nearly an own goal from the Golden Boot winner.
Great ball in from Warshevsky, and even better defending from Salter. At the near post, gets his foot out and just deflects it wide of goal. But it all starts with a really good ball in from Warshevsky into a difficult area to defend.
Nathan Ingham beneath that Duke, getting his boys aligned. It will be Fraser Aird to deliver a right-footed out-swinging corner with 7 teammates in the box. Aird to the near post. Antonoro redirects it. Gutierrez fires a shot into traffic. Now this was an important moment for Sergio Camargo, helping out defensively to prevent a breakaway for David Rodriguez. Abu Sissoko, a stand-up tackle on Warshevsky, already seeing some issues with the stopping, starting, and changes of direction. A beautiful layoff from Warshevsky to Intigne. Gutierrez perhaps caught a bit ball watching. These are just the first 2.5 minutes of his shifts. Dan Klump controls the ball away from Monty Patterson. Worthy of note as well, both of these managers will be offered another substitution, so they could roll through their entire outfield reserves if they wish. Eric Kobza now playing center back. Callum Montgomery left out of the 18 today. So Tom Field, who has been brilliant in that position, now out, and Montgomery not available for selection.
Bring up the extra substitute, Adam, and it's a good point to bring up at this time of the game is if this does go to penalties, they need to start getting the guys that they want on the field to be able to take those penalties. So we'll see some movement if it's still tied later on in these 30 minutes.
Some true superstars off the pitch. Balou Tabla, Ali Moussi, helplessly watching from the bench. Atlético Ottawa. And the famous Atlético red and white stripes attacking the goal to the left side of your screen as the supporters that we can now see across the pitch try to lift the tempo and keep themselves warm. Surviving an early push from Cavalry. It's their turn to try to attack. Aparicio delivers a great ball. Antonoro with a touch or two and sent off into the snow. Very well defended by the Cavs defense. Their first test of extra time.
Really good job here from Intigne. Gets back, uses his pace, gets in between Antonoro and the ball and just rides it out of bounds. That pace is so good for Intigne. That's so explosive. He uses it on the offensive end to the advantage of Cavalry's attack, but there defensively makes the play. He's keen to be aware of where he needs to be defensively. He's able to recover and ride that ball out of bounds and not allow Antonoro to get something on the goal.
Cavalry wearing green in their 4-2-3-1. The pressure of extra time and the frustrations, this roller coaster of a football match, palpable on the Atlético Ottawa touchline. Camargo finds Fraser Aird. Built different. Fraser Aird still in his short sleeves, pardon me. Scoring the penalty and going for a knee slide to celebrate. Took a few snowballs from the Ottawa supporters for his troubles, just to further the lore of this 7th Canadian Premier League final. Cavalry's 3rd straight trip here. Ottawa's 2nd time hosting the big game. Gutierrez couldn't find a way through. Cobb's up. And Feo out-positions his man and wins the throw for Cavalry. Aparicio, great job on the steal. Salter, the 2025 Golden Boots winner. No entrance to the attacking third. It's another great steal from Camargo. Watch Intigne making the overlap. Elva didn't necessarily like the angle. And says possession is better than a forced pass.
Really good interception there from Camargo. He's reading the eyes of Manny Aparicio to pick that pass off.
Pitch switch. Gutierrez bounces over. Bradley Camden Feo. Dan Klomp, a mid-season acquisition. His 2nd stint with Cavalry. He was a huge reason they won last year. Elva's off to the races, and Bomio throws himself in harm's way and might have been helped along to the floor by Elva. The referees decided that's a foul.
Well, Bomio's long legs come in key here as he reaches back to clear this ball away. Elva tries to use his pace to get around. Ends up fouling Bomio.
Adam Jenkins, John Conway. Our pitchside reporters, Mackenzie Barwell and Christian Jack. A pleasure to have you along wherever in the world you're watching. I'm sure with the atmosphere in the backdrop, some first-time CPL viewers. Canada's top flight and its champion to be crowned tonight in the nation's capital. Nice offload from Antonoro. Show with his arms around his shoulders. Right in front of the referee is not going to avoid punishment. We remind you, he is booked. He knows that, but he's still letting the referee understand his displeasure.
Show him upset initially because he feels like Patterson has a grip of his shorts and shirt. And Show him retaliates and ends up getting caught. Again, you bring up a point. He's got to be careful. He's sitting on the yellow card already. And now it forces Cavalry to defend a free kick coming into the box.
Tracking our Atlético Ottawa falls at the feet of Gutierrez. A shot from Aparicio low, just above the turf. Didn't find a way through. Down towards the corner flags in the snowdrift. Selter turns, cops up. Camargo down off the thigh. Ottawa thought it was off the hand. They will argue and scream for every minor advantage they can with so much on the line. What footwork. It's Antonoro. Half tackle, driven into the box. Michael Venn emphatically says no, no, no. Cross that gets in. Kobza had to be there. Rodriguez drives at Camden, tackled. Antonoro, Aparicio, the Ottawa supporters roar.
Ottawa continues to apply pressure. A couple good opportunities and half chances there. Cavalry stands strong. Last-ditch defending, some blocks. And able to reset here as Ottawa retains possession.
Abadne. How different does extra time feel if he's sent off for that tackle earlier on Antigone? The young stars of this Canadian Premier League, of which there are many, certainly of the Canadian variety, he stood out. Dos Santos. Tasty ball. Klomp did his job. Assistant referee rules in favor of Atlético Ottawa.
Saw a replay of possible handball. Hands were at the side. I don't think it even catches his arm. Good no call by the referee. Play on.
Aparicio lining up a shot. Carducci will take those all night. He can hit them. That's not as audacious as it looks if you're unfamiliar with Manu's game. He can strike a football.
Yes, he can, but 40 yards is a bit far for anybody. I'd like to see him a little bit closer to the goal. And then take the green light a bit closer. That's just too far out for me. They need to move the ball around. They have done a good job in this last spell, creating opportunities, keeping Cavalry pinned in defensively.
Carducci restarts. Camargo meets it with his forehead. Gutierrez for Shom, heavy touch. Now Aparicio through the gap. Carducci's out. Ottawa screaming at the referee for every believed infraction. You can tell that this is a home side feeling the pressure. Alva handled by Noah Badney. Aparicio with a very good delivery up ahead. Rodriguez gets goal side of Camden. Down they go. Another big decision for Mikael Venn. He's letting the boys play. We'll take a look at the next stoppage. Ottawa, though, still in possession. Just 2 minutes remaining in this first half of extra time. Out to Kevin Dos Santos. Cushions that down with his right foot. Sissoko. He leaves it. A super fast start from Cavalry to begin extra time, but it's been all Ottawa since. Elva jousting with Loic Cloutier. Nice hustle from Aparicio to keep it away from Antigone. In 20 previous meetings, Cavalry has only been able to best Atlético Ottawa 4 times. This has been the Calgarians' bogey team over the years. Their various head coaches, they're very different teams. Warshevsky, no way through. Camargo, an Energizer Bunny. We know that he's not 100% with that calf of his, but he has been an impact substitute. Sean brings it back. It's last off Salter and out for a Cavalry throw. Well, not a second side of his job to find a bit more balance in the team. And for Saloof, he'd be the first to tell you that he hasn't had the impact that he'd like to play.
Well, he's got a chance to be the biggest impact in the biggest game of the season for this Cavalry team.
Warshevsky off the arm, right in front of the referee, blown for a handball.
And what this also does is puts Warshevsky back up at the number 9.
What this also does is send Atlético Ottawa the other way. They go quick on the restart. Rodriguez at the goal line. Just enough from Carducci. Patterson drills it into traffic. 10-bell fire for Cavalry. No room for error. And they survive. What savvy play to restart so fast all the way down the pitch. Rodriguez almost created another moment of Ottawa magic.
Ottawa on the doorstep, and a tremendous sliding tackle from the substitute Baldissimo. Able to get in and block Patterson for putting this home in the back of the net. Huge opportunity for Ottawa, but a tremendous defensive play.
And Carducci gets just enough on that cross, otherwise it's a Salter tap-in, and that might have been the final. Captain Carducci comes up clutch. But Ottawa, they have been the aggressors in extra time. Rodriguez is down again, Carducci comes out, but Rodriguez chips him! David Rodriguez! What can't he do? Atlético Ottawa lead at home in this wildest of championship matches.
Well, we've seen how dangerous he's been on this left-hand side. And a direct ball over the top from Maniac Mauricio. Releases Rodriguez. Calm, cool, and collected. He slips it past the goalkeeper, Marco Carducci. Great ball over the top, but there's a bit of a hesitation from Carducci to come out. And that slight bit of hesitation prevents him from getting there to impact the play, to impact the ball. If he would have just came straight out, he would have got there cleanly and won that ball. But he pauses and reacts to the bounce. And that favors Rodriguez. And that little bit of hesitation allows Rodriguez to pick his head up and dink it over Carducci. Tremendous goal. 2 goals on the day from David Rodriguez. None more critical than that one to gain the lead for Atlético Ottawa.
10 goals and 10 assists on the season. David Rodriguez, his 29th match in league play for this club as he ran his race. They knew nothing but heartbreak the last time they hosted the final. They just didn't have the guns. They've retooled Atlético Ottawa. They've invested in their local talent and in Canadian talent. And David Rodriguez being helped off the pitch right now, but you could not have asked for anything more as he salutes the crowd on his way out. If they hang on for this victory, they might be able to start erecting the statue of D-Rod. And how about this for a moment as well? Replacing him in his final match as a professional footballer is the 40-year-old Alberto Zapater. Can Cavalry spoil the party? Camargo's in pursuit of the ball. Fraser Airds. Just over Club. Iman Salouf recycles the ball. Here's Bradley Camden-Fail. Played in for Club. Antigone. Trying to head that over. There's a lot of green shirts forward, of course. They must go for it now. Airds. Looking out towards Salouf. Ballissimo on sweeper patrol. Minutes and perhaps a couple more tacked on after the Rodriguez treatment and subsequent substitution. They can just about taste it here at TD Place Stadium. Warshevsky. Patterson. Bellissimo went hunting, but he got the man before the ball.
Ottawa withstanding the initial push from Cavalry here, trying to come back into this game. Ottawa's doing a good job defensively, staying strong, being compact. And now we're able to take some time off the clock.
Salter soars through the air. Salouf looks to Camden-Fail and Bomeo with a nice pinch. Patterson will chase it. Runs out of real estate though. And ends up in the snowdrift. Pops up. 3-2-5 Cavalry are playing. And to tie this match, Kluche with all the pressure in the world sends it away. Santos maybe had time for a touch. It's like park the bus territory already. Kopsa has to make a good pass here. Carducci pursued by two. But those two players that go forward would leave some space for Cavalry back the other way. Gutierrez. Hunted by Aparicio, a nice touch. Now Airds. Comes up. Warshevsky. Ottawa also flooding the center of the park where all the traffic is headed. Here's Salter. He knows his job right now is to play keep away. Zapater. El Toro, as he's been known over his illustrious career. Patterson. Tackled by Bellissimo. Camargo. Gutierrez. Antigone, who's created so much for Cavalry tonight, tries to float it over the top, but Batney with an important touch. Stealing it back for Ottawa. Antigone with a crunch and tackle. That will draw a crowd. Batney comes over and he's being held off by the referees. Clearly, Loic Kluche is not worried about Antonoro as he drags him back onto the pitch, so some time can come off the clock.
Pretty savvy move by Kluche there as he pulls him back from the field as he takes another look at the foul on Gabriel Antonoro. Tempers are flaring. As we're getting to the waning minutes of this match.
Always a war of words between these two supporters groups. The Ottawa supporters have affectionately renamed Cavalry's home from Atco Field to ATO Field because of the success they've had in Calgary over the years. There's been matches where Tommy Wheeldon Jr. has shushed the supporters. Well, Ottawa tonight think that they might have the last laugh. But what we know for certain, regardless of the results, is if there was any doubt before, this is a fully fledged rivalry now. And David Rodriguez has left a lasting mark on this final. The Volkswagen moment of the match. Carducci had to pick, come out, try to make himself big. The left-footed chip, and look what it means to Diego Mejia and the Ottawa supporters.
Well, what a moment there from David Rodriguez. Great finish. But as I look at that replay again, we talked before the game about decision-making from the goalkeepers, and that was more towards their handling, what they want to do. In this case, Carducci hesitates before he comes out and then decides to go. I think as soon as he hesitated, because that ball's going away from his goal mouth and going towards the corner flag, he just needs to stay home. Just stay home. Gives his team a chance to recover, and it's away from your goal. And instead, he comes out late and makes the decision easy for Rodriguez to dink it over him.
The 116th minute of this Canadian Premier League final. Camargo pulled back by Dos Santos. Warshevsky's after it. And Tenoro intervenes, sends it high in the air. Salter comes to. Kabza yanks him down. A foul and perhaps a little more. Salter is shown a yellow for the tactical foul.
What a great first touch. Watch the first touch here. Boom, behind his leg. Is able to turn and spit out. Kabza has no idea where the ball went or where Salter was turning to. Had to grip him up, because otherwise he's facing forward.
Ottawa have only used 3 substitutions, and they get the extra window, so they have one more if they want to. Substitute still warming up behind Marco Carducci's goal. More precious time, they work off the clock. Aparicio saying that's a corner. He's overruled by the assistant referee, and Cavalry know it's go time. Bellissimo is the last man back. Camargo. Warshevsky. Cavalry want a foul. They're not going to get it. It's Patterson into the sternum of the German forward. Clever touch from Monty Patterson, but Camden Feo fights to get goal side. This Cavalry team not going down without a fight. Slipped along, Camden Feo in for a club. Corner. Carducci's thinking about it. They're expecting some extra time, so the Cavalry captain stays in his half for now, but we're just about in that part of the game.
Well, they've already thrown Klopp forward. Good attack on the left-hand side. Camden Feo getting around the outside on the overhead.
Ball into the box. Abatne, I believe, first on it, and then sent away. Fraser Aird still has the numbers forward. A line-splitting pass as Gutierrez can't get it high enough into traffic, sent away, and Carducci controls 15 yards outside his goal. Ottawa submit their paperwork for their final substitution as we near minute 120.
Ottawa doing a good job here of preventing Cavalry from getting balls into the box, stepping out when they can. Because at this point, Cavalry needs to get balls into the box, live off the second balls. And a miss clears from Ottawa.
Airds, good-looking cross. Nate tries to claim it. Here's the follow-up drill that the keeper spilled. Thompson doesn't get there in time. And no path of resistance for Monty Patterson as the Kiwi charges back into the Cavalry half. Was that Cavalry's final big chance? They now have to strip Ottawa back of the ball. That will help them. Basically gifted back under very little pressure. Gets past Klomp and Bomio. Sure-footed under pressure from Sergio Camargo. Aparicio chooses territory over possession. Cavalry have to build from their defensive third. Much stoppage time, 4 minutes for the Cavs to find an equalizer and send us to a shootout. Camargo makes himself available. Intigne back into the box. Cote Intigne gets around Antonoro. Aparicio, nice second touch as well to keep that away from Salouf. Well-read moment from Fraser Aird. Salouf, that's not the ball that Intigne needed. Substitutions for Mejia can be made.
Well, Nate coming out strong, two-fist punch, but smart play was able to get up and recover and deal with that ball. Just trickle away from him. I like his aggressiveness late in this game, coming out, punching that ball away. We'd love to see that punch go another 10, 15 yards.
Gabriel Antonoro was just shown a caution as Michael Venn tried to escort him off the field. He took a long, winding, scenic route, as is his right. He and Aparicio, what performances from those two tonight.
Tremendous shifts from both of those players. Manny Aparicio just running ragged all over the pitch tonight.
Now, having said that, if Cavalry get back to 2-2, those are two guys you probably want taking penalties. It's the gamble you have to make as a coach. There's no easy choices. Bellissimo wrestling with Salter. Referee says Salter rips down the defensive midfielder. Second time Cavalry find themselves in extra time in a CPL final. That night in Hamilton, they took the lead and then took two in a row. They weren't able to get back to level footing. Can they rewrite history tonight, or has this brilliant Atlético Ottawa side taken the North Star Cup away from the champs? Abadne, he's been a magnet in the air. Camargo for Klomp. Gutierrez heads that back towards the 18. Camden Feo initiating the contact on Abadne, and the referee calls him for the infraction. Camden Feo and Mbomio in a war of words. This suits Ottawa just fine.
Smart play from Nate Ingham, just taking more time off the clock and then moving that ball up another 5 to 7 yards.
We are in the final minutes of the 4 that was shown to us by the 4th official, Ben Hoskins. With those substitutions, only the referee knows how much more there is to be added, but it can't be much. Canadian Premier League final without parallel. Does it have one more twist? Comes up. Needed that key. Borshevsky has nowhere to go. Baldissimo with the spot. Carducci starts to make his way towards the attacking half. Baldissimo. Klopp goes ahead.